In this case, investigators are going to be looking closely at every frame of every picture taken on that crucial day. And joining me now is Pulitzer Prize-winning New York Times photographer Doug Mills, who has been photographing presidents since 1983. Of course, he was at the Donald Trump rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday. He captured this chilling photo showing the path of the bullet that hit the former president. And Doug joins me now from Milwaukee, where, of course, he's on duty, as he always is. Doug, tell me where you were when the shot was fired, how you were so perfectly positioned. When did you realize something had really gone wrong?
Yeah, Andrea, I was in the tight pool, which is a pool of photographers that are right around the buffer zone of the stage, and we typically get 5 to 10 minutes inside the buffer zone. And so I knew my minutes were rolling. He had been on stage maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start trying to get some pictures of him with that, huge American flag above his head. And so just about that time, I was taking pictures of him then. And then I heard the pop, pop, pop. And I saw him grimace and reach to his ear and then look at his hand. And then the next thing I knew, he was down behind the podium. And at first, I don't have a gun. I've never heard an AR-15 when it's fired. And I didn't know what it was right away. But then once he went down, I realized he had been shot. And so I just, I didn't use my best, judgment as far as my safety. So I, ran towards the situation and tried to get as close to the stage and as close to the president as I could without obstructing any members of the Secret Service who had, by the time I had, looked around the podium, they were already completely covering him. And from what I've heard, it took them less than 3 seconds to get on stage and completely cover him. So, yes, it was a very chaotic moment.
And you were still running and positioning yourself to get more shots. What was the shutter speed on your camera of the photo, that key photo, which captured the bullet? Because the speed of sound is behind the speed of light, so there would have been a lag time there. And so you were just rolling and rolling.
I was. Once I heard the pops, it appears, and it surely feels like I held down on the shutter as hard as I could. And I was shooting a Sony A1 camera at an 8,000th of a second. My ISO was ISO 50, and I was at 1.6 on the aperture ring. So it was a super bright day, super hot. I'm thrilled that the picture is what it is. Obviously, it's very sad to see that the former president was shot, and even more tragic that someone else lost their life, and there are 2 more people that are seriously injured, and my heart goes out to them.
We journalists are trained not the way Secret Service, agents are trained, but you have been doing this with every president since 1983. You know the way they move. You're just, you're a trained eye, and you went into automatic reaction instead of getting down. Everyone else was getting down.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's instinct, but it's also one of my former AP colleagues, Ron Edmonds, who was a mentor of mine, was there when the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan took place.
Ron was a mutual friend, a colleague.
Yes.
He was there at the Hilton, and Shelley Fillman was the camera crew. NBC was assigned that day,
Exactly.
And Ron Edmonds took all of those pictures of, our friend Jim Brady, everything.
Right,
So
Shelley and
Ron
Edmonds did not.
Yeah.
Yes, they did not blink. And one of the things, Andrea, is you and I both knew Ron very well, but he spoke quite often about that day that he spent there at the Hilton Hotel, and he always said to me, I remember him saying to me one time, "Listen, I didn't blink. I didn't look to see where the shots were coming from. And I went forward rather than back." And I think that's something that must have stuck in my mind about going forward in a tragic time like that without trying to obstruct the Secret Service. And I think that's what I did. Yes, it was not the safest thing to do, as my wife and my 2 daughters have said. Next time, Dad, please go down, get down. But my instincts jumped in, and I was there.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more. September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.